Tonight on Connections Live, we'll meet the owner of an Area 50s diner. We'll hear about a puppet show put on by Decatur Ministry. And we'll visit with an Anderson-based bike shop. Connections Live starts right now.
Hello and welcome to Connections Live, where we showcase ordinary people with extraordinary stories. I'm Jenna Liston.
And I'm Brittany Ehrman. Tonight we'll tell the stories of a well-known Anderson burger joint, a puppet show running for over 2 decades, and a bike shop with more than just bikes. So let's get started with our first story.
He's been visited by Andrew Luck and always has regular customers coming in for the usual.
Let's take a look at what Bill Pitts has to say about his 1950s restaurant, the Lemon Drop.
My name is Bill Pitts, and I'm the owner and manager here at the Lemon Drop. The Lemon Drop is a 50s diner, kind of like you might remember from being on Happy Days on TV. It's a small, comfortable, homey atmosphere, good food. The Lemon Drop has been here in Anderson since it opened January 19th of 1954. Our most popular items here are an onion burger, which is 2 patties of meat with onions cooked in between them. At one time was voted #1 burger in the state of Indiana. Another popular item is the breaded tenderloin, and also a toasted cheeseburger. If you've never had one, you don't know what you're missing. It's really good. The Lemon Drop is unique because, well, there just aren't very many of them around anymore. Any diners like this, it's coming in, you step back in time, get a little bit of nostalgia, something like your parents or your grandparents may have experienced. My most memorable moment of working here, probably Andrew Luck stopped in last year. That was real good with 3 or 4 of his buddies. They are backup quarterback and Matt Hasselbeck and Kobe Fleener. That was kind of a big deal for us. A lot of our customers come in regularly. Yeah, they've been coming in for maybe longer than I've been here. Probably the thing that's made me most proud of running this place would be all the people I've got to work with, in addition to all the customers I've had over the years. That some of them have moved away, but their children still come in, or every time they come back to town, they stop in and say hello. The future of the Lemon Drop probably will be, hopefully, just like it is. So that's what makes people feel comfortable. It's homey. We don't change things a lot, and that's probably going to be what we strive for, just to maintain it, keep it just like it is. To the Lemon Drop is where people should go if they want to find out more about us. We don't have a website. They've picked us up on Yelp and Urban Spoon and roadfood.com and just restaurants in Anderson, Indiana. They already give us a very high rating. So any of those would be a good place to check out if you're into all that new technology.
What a cool place to see. The whole menu sounds pretty appetizing.
Yeah, without a doubt. Definitely we'll have to go and check it out sometime. If you'd like to learn more information about the Lemon Drop, you can call them at 765-644-9055.
Don't go away, we have more stories coming up next.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back to Connections Live. Our next story is about a puppet show based out of Decatur, Indiana.
Under the direction of Eric and Christine Garner, the ministry performs shows each holiday season to spread the true meaning of Christmas.
We got the chance to sit down with Eric and Christine, so let's see what they have to say about the Agape Puppet Show.
We started about 28 years ago, and actually it started with my wife taught Sunday school at her church, and she did puppets for the kids. If they were good, she had a little puppet show for them. And I was dating her at the time, and she wanted me to help her one Sunday, and I thought, these kids aren't gonna they're not gonna behave if they watch puppet show, but they loved it. And that's kind of how I got hooked on it, and it all started from there.
We went to a church that had Children's Day when we were first married, and they used puppets like you see on Sesame Street. I was really blown away because all I'd ever really used were 3-finger puppets. And so after the service, we went up and talked to the people that put on the show, and they helped us get started and gave me a puppet pattern. So I started sewing puppets, and that's really how it got started. They were doing musicals, and they helped us get started in doing musicals. They looked like they'd be really fun to do, and we started doing them, and we really enjoyed doing them. Behind stage, there's about 18 of us. Of that, I've got about 4 adults. We use a kids' musical and run with it. So we sit down and brainstorm it. So we just go to the Christian bookstore and get a kids' musical. Some are conducive to puppets and some aren't. If they're real slow moving, a lot of slow songs, a lot of long dialogue, you're not going to hold kids. We've done several musicals that do different ideas as far as how the Christmas story can be told. One was told through the animals, others were told through the wise men, sometimes they're told through the shepherds. This particular story that we're doing this year is told through a group of kids that are supposed to be aliens. They've come to Earth to find out what is the center of Christmas. So the title, Journey to the Center of Christmas. They want to know what it's all about. They've never heard of it before because they're from someplace else. It's
the Christmas story, and the puppets are wrought arm puppets, just like you see in the Muppet Show and Sesame Street. And there's a couple human arm puppets where your arm actually becomes the puppet's arm. And we have a couple of those in this show. And it basically tells the true meaning of Christmas. Some of the puppets we make, my wife makes, some we buy. Some of the specialty puppet things that you might see in the show we make. Not necessarily a person puppet, but a thing that talks. We'll make, but other than that, some of the puppets, we just, the better puppets we buy. Once we got into this thing, we had more money to work with, and so we ended up buying some good puppets. For the most part, my husband and I make puppets, or we order. So any more time constraints, and as we've gotten donations and I watch for puppets to go on sale, we try to buy puppets. They're made better, but thing puppets you don't find.
You know, if you want a tree or a snowflake or a bell, they're harder to find, and you end up trying to make those. I usually, the kids that have been with us the longest, the older kids, I give the solo parts to and the main parts to. New kids have to go in songs, because they got to learn how to run a puppet and how it works behind stage. They're not going to get a main part. Just as they get older and as they mature in their puppetry skills, that depends on what parts they get. We have a tape called Puppet Aerobics, and it helps teach them what to do. Plus, we just show them. We give them little tricks that you can do as far as learning how to lip sync with your hand with the radio, just different things that help. And practicing gives you arm strength.
It's just a real blessing to this time of year for Chris and I to do these puppet shows, and hopefully everyone else is blessed by it too.
Oh, just come to the show. It'll be fun, I promise. There's over 100 puppets in it, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. And you'll find out what Christmas is really all about.
What a great bunch of people. It's really heartwarming how community-driven that they are.
Definitely. And I love how it started from a small Sunday school show into a regional traveling show.
To find out more about their shows, search for Agape Express Puppets on Facebook.
For our final story this evening, we got the chance to sit down with Ben Orchid, an entrepreneur of his business Buckskin Bikes.
Buckskin Bikes started out as a nonprofit organization focused on teaching the community about bicycling, but has later turned out to be so much more.
Let's take a spin over to Buckskin Bikes.
Buckskin Bikes is a bicycle shop. So we do everything from service and repair of all bicycle types. We sell bikes new and used. We have parts, accessories, really anything to do with bicycles we can help. Buckskin Bikes originally was a nonprofit organization. We started as a nonprofit with the intention of teaching bicycle repair as well as doing advocacy with the city. As we opened up and started to grow, people kept trying to buy product from us. It felt silly to say no to that, and we also realized sort of on, I guess, the hierarchy of needs, nobody's interested in learning how to replace an inner tube if they can't buy an inner tube. So we just sort of realized that the retail was going to be a valuable component, and it's really what the community needed. Our goals have always been social. By starting as a nonprofit, that's sort of obvious, but as a for-profit entity, I've actually found more freedom and more success at enacting social change. By definition, businesses are self-sustaining. Nonprofits aren't. They're dependent exclusively on outside grant funding or donations. By being a for-profit business, we are self-sustainable. And through that self-sustainability, we can sort of plan into the future a little bit more and know that we're going to be here and we can be a safe place for kids in the neighborhood, that we can provide our services well into the future. And I think that in itself, that sort of stability and relative permanence in a place is unto itself a social good. The other thing that we do, specifically during the holiday season, is we get in sort of more general outdoor product. We carry a great line of wool socks. We carry Stanley thermoses and mugs, a lot of outdoor sort of camping, coffee-related kind of stuff, really great gift items. This year we're getting sleds, classic wooden toboggans and the steel runner sleds, which we're really excited about. So branching out a little bit, but then also we do our classes. We do repair maintenance classes through January and February, so people can come in and learn how to work on their own bike. We've been open for, well, it was 3 years for us in June, so a little over 3 years we've been in business now, and we've grown very organically. We did not take big loans out to start the business. we've put all the profit right back in, so it's been sort of organically stair-stepping its way up over the past 3 years. I'm really happy with where we are now. We have new bikes on the floor. We have a good range of product. When we started, if you needed something specific, I had to special order it, and it took 3 days, and it was a hassle. But it's just the way it works when you're small and you don't have a ton of capital. Seeing that organic growth happen over 3 years, I'm really excited about our progress. The summer is always a scramble for us, you know what I mean? We just so many customers and so much repair and just sort of, it's chaotic. And so now in the fall, we can sort of settle in a little bit and take a step back and look at what we want to see change and make those changes. And the ability to sort of step back, look at what we want to improve, and then just immediately act on it. I'm happy about that. We've started the coffee business within the bike shop, which has been great, and I hope that that grows. But as far as building new elements into this business, I don't really want to do that. I really want to be a bike shop, and I want to be a really good bike shop. We're starting to focus more inwards, honestly. We've got a good inventory, we've got a good staff, we've got some of the bones that we need, and so now we can really focus inward and like really make what we do even better.
You know, I really love that outdoorsy look they're going for. It's a nice change from that usual space-age atmosphere most places have now.
Certainly. To find out more about what they have to offer, you can visit their website at www.buckskinbikes.com.
We have a special musical guest for you after the break. Connections Live will be right back.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. It's got nothing to do with fairness. Bam. Your whole world changes in an instant. And you never see it coming. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to learn the signs of a stroke fast. F-A-S-T.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke. F-A-S-T. Fast.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave. Okay, but remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Welcome back to Connections Live.
Joining us tonight from Muncie, Indiana is folk rock duo Yukon Red. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me here.
So how did you guys get started playing together?
Well, we were really, his roommate is my brother, and we just kind of started jamming together, and it just made it something, you know, more professional and started actually doing more work and stuff.
Great.
So, yeah.
So where did you guys get your inspiration for your music?
Well, personally, I like Earl Scruggs and Bob Dylan, a lot of songwriter stuff, and
I take a lot of inspiration from like Ed Sheeran, more Chet Baker, kind of more poppy kind of artists and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Together we make the folk.
Yeah.
Okay, and can you talk, I'm sorry, a little bit into the mic? We want to make sure our viewers can hear you.
Yes,
okay, so if we wanted to know more, the viewers wanted to know more about where we can find your music, where should we look?
All of our music can be found online at our Facebook page. You can just search for Yukon the Red, and Yukon Red, and we'll be the only artists that show up for sure. You can also go to SoundCloud or Bandcamp and search for Yukon Red, and we'll be on there too.
Great. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. That's all we have tonight for Connections Live. We showcase ordinary people
who share those extraordinary stories. Have a great night.
What you wanna see. If you're free like me, then you don't need me. I know what you wanna do. Sometimes reminders of our times won't scare me anymore. Get up and feel na-na. What's the deal? Yeah, I met her at the right time. Some folks you never wanna see. I don't really care, yeah, I am right or wrong. You were such a sight to see in my backyard. You were such a sight to see in my backyard. Dry drinks we never share, like our favorite shows that never end. I don't really care, you know. We're on our way to the western skies. It's cold but frees your mind. You don't really know my ways. Choked up reminders of your eyes won't scare me anymore. Get up and feel na-na. What's the deal? Yeah, I met her at the right time. Some folks you never wanna see. I don't really care if I am right or wrong. You were such a sight to see in my backyard. You were such a sight to see in my backyard. You were such a sight to see in my backyard. My fears, I wear them on my brow. No one told me how to live my lives inside. Keep everyone at bay from burning at your soul. I can't imagine where I'd be without you, babe. Burning, burning. There are pains without their wings. You can climb the mountainside, only to find you where to swim. 2.